Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. I'm Sarah Sunstone, and today I'm going to be sharing 5 more things we still don't know about Coral Island. If you missed my first video in this mini-series, I'll link it in the description. Go check it out. We've actually already received one answer to our last 5 questions, which was about the release date for the game, so maybe we'll have even more answers soon. The first big question is about the Goddess of Flowers. We know very little about her and her role in the game. We did see her in the original Kickstarter trailer alongside her 2D character art, and were given the following description. The Goddess of Flowers was once worshipped by both merfolk and giants alike. To this day, locals continue to believe that the goddess is responsible for rejuvenating the island's water, soil, and well-being. And that's about it. Officially, at least. In the trailer, we saw the Goddess of Flowers emerging from the temple at the lake, so we may assume that she resides in this area. We also saw the player making an offering in the trailer. Now, there has been documented work on some sort of offering UI, suggesting that the offering system will be more complex than simply dropping an item in the lake's waters. We've also seen talk of temple offerings in the What's Next sections in several developer updates, and it appears that this will be tied into the heritage portion of the town rank. We may be required to make specific offerings to the goddess, like crops, flowers, cooked meals, and more, maybe to gain favor with the goddess, or perhaps to even help heal her. If there are elements of the natural world on Coral Island that are damaged and sick, like the hot springs, the oil-filled waters, and the trash-covered beaches, and the goddess is intertwined with the natural elements, then perhaps she needs help too. Based on the earlier description, it is also likely that she is somehow working with the giants and the merfolk. So we may have to go on quests for all 3 parties around the island to all work together and bring balance back to Coral Island. But what are your thoughts on this? The next thing we still don't know is exactly what lies beyond the borders of Starlet Town. We've seen this earlier version of the Starlet Town map, along with this portion of the newer map. But every location that has been listed and shared thus far lies within this area here. When we take a look at the diving map, however, there is actually an entire upper portion of Coral Island that the developers have yet to share anything about. We can even see it peeking out in this concept art of island hopping, and it is briefly mentioned in Zara's character bio, which states that she was born and raised on the other side of the island, and when her boat isn't docked, she is presumed to be visiting her family. So it does seem as though we will ultimately be able to access and explore this portion of the island. Maybe we'll discover it by diving, through the Coral Island current, by boat, or by completing some quests on land. I just have a feeling that it won't be immediately accessible, and we may have to unlock it first. It does seem like it will include a desert biome, along with potentially more forested areas furthest north, and what sounds like some sort of residential or inhabited area with more residents, based on Zara's bio. I wonder how the story will lead us to this part of the island, what unique resources we may be able to find in these areas. I can't wait to find out more. Next up, while we are all so very excited to start building relationships with the townies and romanceables, one thing we still don't know is how exactly the friendship and romance mechanics will work, and whether we will experience relationship decay in this game. We have only seen a very early build of the relationship UI, but based on all the other UI upgrades, we can expect changes to the relationship one as well. But based on this older UI and the developer diaries, we know that we will be gaining hearts with each NPC, likely by chatting with them, completing quests for them, and giving them gifts. However, one big question for me is whether there will be a romance versus friendship decision point with each romanceable character. It would be a shame if you became locked out of learning more about the dateable characters and building friendship with them simply if you weren't interested in them romantically. In my ideal world, there would be 2 paths for each character. Path A would be for romance, and path B would be for friendship. At a certain point in getting to know them, you could communicate your interest in pursuing one of the 2 paths, and then you could go on to maximize your hearts with them, either romantically or just as a close friend. With so many characters, I understand that this may be too much to ask, because I'm also hoping that the way we get to know the townies is quite in-depth as well. It's always disappointing in games when the non-romanceables sort of get tossed to the side in terms of their character development and stories, so I hope we won't see this in Coral Island. Even further, given that there is that large number of characters on an island with so many other tasks to become preoccupied with, we still don't know if relationship progress will decay. If we, for instance, ignore a particular character for weeks on end, will we lose hearts in this case? Will we lose them if we give a bad gift, forget their birthday, or respond rudely to them in conversation? We can make all sorts of guesses and speculations at this point, but there's just so much we really don't know. Speaking of NPCs, we know that they will all have their very own birthdays, but one thing we still don't know is whether or not we can have our own. Can we set our birthday in character customization? For example, Spring 13 or Winter 5, and have a little celebration on that day. The birthday event in Animal Crossing is one of my favorites. It's short and sweet, but so charming, and I would love to see something simple like this included in Coral Island. If that's too much of an ask, it would be really sweet if the NPCs would just acknowledge that it was your special day in conversation, either in a nice way from certain characters, or maybe in a little bit of a cheeky or sassy way from others. I just think that would be a nice touch, and maybe you would even receive a few special gifts by mail from your top 3 friends. Finally for today, the last unknown I'd like to talk about is related to interior customization. When Stairway Games first introduced cooking mechanics in a past developer update, the kitchen appeared to be pre-built. Basically, you would go to the carpenters, upgrade your house, and a complete kitchen would be added in your home expansion. From there, you could visit Socket and Pan to purchase kitchen utensils, which would automatically be added to your kitchen until you collected them all. Now at this point, I was slightly disappointed because as great as this addition was, I felt like not having any kitchen customization was a missed opportunity for everyone's interiors to stand out as being unique to each player. Now, this may still be the planned system, however, since that update, plenty of additional emphasis has been placed on decoration and customization, and in the latest developer update that showcased the furniture store UI, we can actually spot what appears to be a kitchen counter and sink item. So is this evidence that we may in fact be able to customize our future kitchens? What do you think? So those were 5 more things we still don't know about Coral Island, but please let me know what other big questions you have. If you haven't yet, be sure to give this video a like so we can share this amazing game with even more people. With all that being said, I so look forward to chatting with you in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. I love you all, and until next time, take care.